You set the example to children.
Blah. Y'all know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Y si tú quieres cambiar tu vida, if you want to change your life, then subscribe. Cha-ching! And by the way, guys, I just published a book called Shabbat in Chicago. It's about an audacious single mom who opens her heart and home to 5 adopted kids while embracing her Latino culture while being Jewish. And today we have a very, very special guest. I'm so happy she's in the building. She's not only family, she's a close friend. Give it up for the one and only Claudia.
Oh, thank you. It's
Of
a
course.
pleasure to talk to you.
Same here.
My boy.
Thank you, thank you.
Like always, I call you my boy.
Right, right. And for those who don't know, Claudia has been on the radio longer than me. In Chicago, the 106.7 La Pasión. So I got to give her credit. I remember every morning I would hear her share her input, and it was the coolest thing ever. And I got to say, so I was in Chicago, and my mom wanted to make me dinner before I go to, back and fly, Vegas. I said, Mom, no, it's okay, it's okay, I'm good. And she wanted to make me lechuga con ketchup.
Exactly.
That was gonna be my
Mm-hmm.
dinner because she said I gotta lose weight. I said, Mom, that's so plain. I can't eat that before I leave. And Claudia starts laughing. She couldn't help it. She's like, ay, mijo, you're so pobrecito. You gotta eat lechuga con ketchup. You know what I'm saying? So it was a tough story. Claudia did save the day. Claudia, please tell the fans what happened. What did you make for me?
Okay. We went to the store and your mom started talking about diet and how healthy we have to eat and etc., etc., etc. And today, lunch was ketchup with lettuce. And I say, no, my boy is not going to eat that. So I sneak in the store and I tell her, this is a lean meat. Can I make the albondigas for him, please? Please. And she says, okay. So I start making the albondigas and she start making her salad to see which one of the family members going to eat lechuga with ketchup, right? So when I'm done with the albondigas, everybody ate the albondiga soup. So I saved the day. Yes, I did it again.
Oh man.
Yes, it was fun. It was fun because you were so worried that you're going to eat lechuga and ketchup.
Right, right. So thank you for saving my life. My tummy felt better. I just want to let you know my tummy feels better.
Thank
And
you.
of course, of
my
course.
my children told me that's the best albondiga soup.
Oh, they're so cute.
It's so special for you, David. You know
Thank
that
you.
I love you.
I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. And I want you, it's an honor you're here because I have so much to pick at your brain, to talk to you and for the fans to know you more. Please, please, can you share too like about you growing up in Guatemala, right? How was life there that you could remember? And if you could share us, living there, any stories, any stories you could think of, and then coming to America, the big change that you saw.
Okay. Yes. I grew up in Guatemala City and the town called Zona 12. Zona 12 is Guatemala is divided for zonas, the city. And departamentos departments are in out of the city. So I grew up in Zona 12. Then I moved to Zona 21. So Yes, it was hard. I was the only child. But the most of the time when I was growing up, it was the arranged marriage all the time. So I got married when I was 14 with the father of my 4 children. And in 2 weeks, they arranged the marriage and we get married. So I didn't have any choice to see if I like it or not, you know. So, yeah, I have 2 children by 16. I had 2 children, Christopher and Jeremy. And then I moved to United States and I was wetback. Yes, I passed the frontier wetback through Mexico and then the United States. It was a tough, tough time because coming through Mexico without not knowing nobody in Mexico, but people were so wonderful to us all the time. Even they don't know us, they treat us like family. And I'm so thankful about Mexico, the whole country welcoming us, my ex-husband and me. And we passed the frontier. We were in in La Bestia. We were over there. It was tough, but we did it. It was a tough situation, a tough crossing. You can see every time you cross the frontier. I just crossed it once, but the stories that you heard from other people crossing the frontier and these times is terrible. Not many people do it. Not many people make it. And they start the new life in United States when I was 17, 18, it was tough too because I didn't speak the language. But I decided that I have to learn. One time that I got lost, I took the bus to go to my mother-in-law, and then but the way back, I took the bus to the north instead of the south. So I end up all the way to Peterson, lost, not speaking English area. Nobody speak Spanish in those years, 85, 86. So finally, I found a Chicano, Mexican American, and he gave me a transfer because they used to give us transfer 3 buses. So finally, I get home. So that day, I decide that I'm never going to get lost in Chicago. So I memorize every establishment that is in each corner of the streets, so I never get lost. Wow. I learn the streets, what percent we are in the south, we are percent in the north, east, and west. So I did that. And to learn English, I didn't have the chance to go to school here yet, but I learned reading the newspaper and watching Sesame Street. Reading the newspaper, I used to read the newspaper and the words that I don't understand, I just write it down, and then I went to the library to find out what was, because in those times we didn't have Google, we don't have iPhones or cell phones to look for what is that mean. So we have to go to the library, look for the book, the dictionary, and find out what the word means. It was tough, but I learned my English, so my children don't translate for me in school when I have to go to school, and you know that I have to go very often because Roberto, right? So, yeah, that's what I did. I never let pass me those lazy moments where you cannot learn and you said, oh, but I live in a Spanish neighborhood. Why do I need the English? No, it's not true. You have to learn the language. Otherwise, you get lost. You get lost, people take advantage of you, you don't understand the language. Sometimes people don't translate what we need to talk about, and people is mean sometimes. So if you don't speak English, people can be mean to you.
Right.
So it's very important for me to give the message. Please learn the language. It's very important. It's very important. Better future, better education, better life, because then you know the language. You can talk to somebody about a better job for you, or even keep the school. Like me, I after my children grew up, I thought, well, I love school, I have to keep going. And
Wow.
that's why I learned English too, because I want to be able to go to school.
I love that. I love that. And you know what? It's amazing, Claudia, that, after your kids grew up, you finish your bachelor's, and now, ladies and gentlemen, Claudia is about to get her master's. And I love
Yeah,
this,
I'm
your
going to
story.
start already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that's amazing because, you know, it shows that it's never too late to go to school. You can still
Never,
do it.
never. And I have a very funny story about that. My grandson, Xander, Xander is my first grandson. When I start school almost 7 years ago, he told me, Ba, because they call me Ba. They don't call me grandma, they call me Ba. Ba, but you're too old to go to school. That's what he told me. So that morning I says, you have to go with me. I took him to college to meet my counselors and my teachers and everybody in school. And he knew in that moment that it was not too late for me to start school again, because it was other people's the same age or older than me. So he says, good for you, Ba. When he starts seeing my grades, because I like to get A's and B's most of the time. So I got my scholarships that way. So he saw my grades, and he says, A and B's. He says, Bob, you're over 50 and you got A and B's. And I say, yeah, I like to keep my A and B's because it's important to learn. And every time I got A and B, I feel better about myself and I want to keep going. But if I get F's, I will get disappointed and I don't want to keep going, right? So if I do a better job, it's a better uh, future for me. So he started getting A's and B's. He
Wow.
says, if you get A's and B's, why not me? Now, all the grandkids, Melody's side and Roberto's side, they are A's and B's.
Wow.
So that's what it is. You set the example to children. I was very, very strict like your mom. You know how I was your mom. Very
Yeah.
strict. I was a very strict parent because I have to do like your mom did. As a father, as a mother too. We have to two jobs for us, to for you to be better and for my children to get better. So it was tough. It was tough, but I was strict, but I let them be who they are in streets because I don't want to get surprises, and that's why I let them curse and do all those things, and I'm their friend, but I'm their mom first. They respect me, and I want to do the same thing with for my grandkids. They know that I mean business. I know that, I love them dearly, like my children, but I have to teach them respect for adults, teachers, etc., etc., etc. They have to be a pleasant child to be with. not a spoiled brat that you don't want to be with. So that's why.
What a beautiful story. I love it. I love it.
Thank
And
you.
it's so cute. Alexander's like, he's so cute that he's now making you proud, getting
Yes.
those grades. I love that.
Every time they get the grade, says, "Bah, look what I get! I get A and B too." So they get so excited. And, it's important for
Yeah.
me. I feel proud of them, but I
Yeah.
feel proud of myself too, because even though my health is not 100%, and I've always been with health issues, I keep going no matter what. It took me more than 7 years. Okay, let's keep going. Let's finish this. So
Wow.
2 more semesters and I'm done. And I will feel so proud of myself,
Yeah.
you know? And when I graduate from GED, there was my only two children were, yay, mom, yay. Everybody was looking at them like, yeah, cuckoo. The second time when I graduate from, because I'm also ECE. I'm an early education teacher too. So I graduate from that. They got so excited that they were screaming, "Yay, mom! Yay!" And now, this time I will be so happy if they are coming, all of them and all of you, to my graduation, because that will be a big accomplish for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love that. I love that. I can't wait. And please, Claudia, if you can share too, real quick. I never knew the this. I mean, it's a little blur, but if you can share how you met my mom, can you share the
I met
first?
you, mom.
Yeah,
Okay.
please, please,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Spill the
Well,
cheese,
I
man.
met
Spill
you.
it.
I met your mom when we were in Guatemala. I used to grow up in the same town, but I didn't knew that until we met here again.
Oh,
One day, somebody introduced us, Maria, introduced your mom and me, and said, "This is Mighty. She's from Guatemala." And then we start talking about where they used to live, and then we find out that we were friends, when we were little, and now we keep the friendship over 30 years. When I saw you for the first time and I held you in my arms, I was about to give birth to Roberto.
wow.
Yes. When I had Roberto and you used to play together, that's why he called you cousin. And for me, you my nephew, because, I saw you since you were born. And I saw you growing up together with Roberto, growing up with Anna and all the children. They were together. And we have so much fun. You always trying to get good grades too, and you accomplished so many good things in life, and your mom is so proud of you. We all are so proud of you. So that's how we met with your mom, and we are still friends over 40 years, and we're going to keep going. We never have misunderstanding, because you know how she is. She's very strict, very straightforward. I'm straightforward, but I'm strict on my way. I'm more, she's more old fashioned and I'm more modern. I think life is making me modern with my grandchildren, my children. So when she had her grandchildren, I will see her. I will see her change like I
Oh,
did. Yeah, but we have so much fun when you were growing up, all the children together and growing up and having fun. It was a very luxury time because you play outside, you have so much fun, you play in the and in the parks. You play in so many things, in so many places together, and we celebrate so many good memories together. We used to have food, drinks, dance, all the way to the morning, right?
Yeah.
So we have so much fun.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful story. I'm so happy you shared it. Thank you. Thank you. And, and I do want something Melody wanted me to tell you, and she shared a little bit of it, but I think you know the full picture. Melody, for those who don't know, this her daughter, and Melody shared a story that for me was shocking. How there was this, I guess, a clinic that you were trying to get. I don't know. I forgot the whole story, but you were able to go to the White House.
Yes.
And can you share that little story?
Yes.
I know Bill Clinton was there,
Yes.
but can you share it,
Yes.
please?
Yes. I since I have memories, I always volunteer. I love to volunteer. Volunteer Latin Women in Action, um, clinics, lawyers for low income people. I translate. I do the intakes. I do the triage also, and I used to be a member of the board of the clinic. So I started volunteering in the clinic, and it happens to be that we have to raise money for that clinic, and we have to go to the White House. I never went to the White House before. So I remember I get there and I went into Intercontinental Hotel. For me, it was, oh my goodness, what a big deal. I felt so important. So I went out of the hotel and I started seeing people homeless in front of the White House. And I said, how is that possible? The American dream, and people homeless living in front of the White House. So I started, how I am. I'm very nosy. So I start talking to them, and they tell me stories about mental problems, addiction. So we went to Washington, all the clinic members of the board, and we raised $1 million for the clinic with um, um, with all the people who donate money, because we went over there and we also were introduced with newspaper in Spain. So they gave us an interview that day in the White House. Um, for Spain and all Europe about how the American dream is still people living in the United States having no insurance, health insurance, or affordable health insurance. That some people make too much money to apply for a medical card, but sometimes makes so much less money to afford a, a health insurance, right? So we were fighting for that because the clinic is free and still working and still running and helping people. And that's how we want. We want clinics to help low income people. And it's a lot of people now that needs help, especially mental health. And that's how we raised that $1 million over there. And I was a member of that board. And I was member of the board of Lady of Mercy Church for 20 years. I volunteered as a intakes. I used to do the intakes for CBLS and for all the lawyers who come and volunteer to the church. And it is a very good feeling to volunteer because help you inside to build a better way to live. Because if you give, you feel much better, you know?
Yeah.
Give without expecting anything back. That's the most important thing to volunteer.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's
beautiful.
how I did it.
I love it. I love it. And did you get a chance to talk to Bill Clinton a little bit?
Nah, no, no, no. We spoke with I I knew Bill Clinton, but in Guatemala. When he came to Guatemala, I used to work in Guatemala in a hotel. And that's where the hotel that he came into. That's how I met him. I met, all the bodyguards and all the people who helped him when he was in Guatemala. So I had the privilege to meet Bill Clinton. And then when I went to Washington, I just meet other people, but very important people in that time. It was in 1990s around that time.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my life. And one day I'm going to tell you all the things that God is saving me since I was a child. That's another story for the next time
Okay.
because I've been shot, I've been robbed, I've been so many things that God saved me, and I'm very thankful.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's you're a hero. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't say that.
No, for real. You have a good heart. You have a good heart.
It's because the way that we were raised, we were raised with respect to each other and respect to elders and respect to our children. If we respect our children will respect us. But we have to set limits,
Yeah.
and the limits has to be, you know, um, truthful.
Yeah.
Because if you promise something, you have to accomplish. Otherwise, people don't trust you.
Yeah.
The truth is always have to be the main points of any relationship, friendship, or relationships between couples is so important. Loyalty, be truthful, and be honest.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Claudia. Well, look,
You're welcome.
I'm gonna wrap it up, guys.
Okay.
This is the Outlet to Reality, the oldest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching! Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat's Take One Pass It, and my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And Claudia, thank you for being on the show. Where can my fans find you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't have Facebook anymore. I'm modern, but not too modern. Okay.
I love it. I love it.
I love you.
Love you
Thank you
too.